In the late Middle Ages, the Pope sent a man to Florence to collect a painting from a hot new artist named Giotto. There's Giotto, looking pretty hot. He looks like a medieval James Woods. And for those who don't know who James Woods is, I think his droopy eyes a little Chalamet. A lot was riding on this little errand. If the Pope liked the painting, he would award Giotto with a prize commission in Rome, instantly vaulting Giotto into the elite tier of Italian painters. But legend has it that Giotto refused to hand over a piece of his existing work. Instead, with the Vatican messenger looking on, he took a blank canvas and he painted a single unbroken line, a perfect circle. A perfect circle, and he told the man from Rome that this was all the Pope needed to see in order to understand him as an artist. Now, the Pope's errand boy, of course, thought that this was crazy and cuckoo bananas, or even worse, an insult to the Holy Father. But the stunt worked, and the Pope awarded Giotto with his prize commission, and Giotto went on to become a master. And unlike James Woods, for those of you who know who he is, he didn't go all MAGA at the end. So some say that the circle showcased Giotto's impressive technical talent because he didn't use a compass or mechanical aid. Others point to the circle's mystical quality because it told the pontiff, here is a man who could grasp the infinite. Now, I have my own theory. I think Giotto painted a circle because he knew that in the Middle Ages, you just had to paint a circle around everybody's head. Circle, circle, circle. I mean, literally, circle, circle. Yes, circle. It was a weird time with weird rules, but Giotto knew this. Those are all Giotto's, by the way, and they're very, very beautiful. In other words, the circle was technical, and it was mystical, and for Giotto, it was a practical business necessity. It was an innovation in art. How is that for a segue? Could I please get a clap for my segue? Thank you. Thank you very much. Be honest, how many of you thought that the Mexican actress chick who was in Jurassic Domination, that you maybe thought maybe was Asian, would give you a lecture in European art history? But I do want to say how deeply honored I am to be in this room. I speak to you as a member of the board of the Institute, and I also speak to you, hopefully, as a responsible citizen. My hope is that you leave today hungry to do more, to highlight the transformative role that your company or organization plays in creating a world that values ultimately what is most important, which is the health and well-being of both people and the planet. So, ultimately, how do we, the humans, consume more responsibly? How do we, the humans, suck less? And in another way, it may sound cheesy, but how do we save the world? It sounds cheesy, but that's what's on the line. Our certification's emphasis on the 5 pillars, as you know, material health, product circularity, social fairness, and the others, they set a high but necessary bar for radical global change. And our institute knows that in the face of growing regulatory compliance, soon here and definitely in Europe, our certification is going to help companies do business in places like France, where digital product passports will soon be mandatory. According to the Circularity Gap Report, as it stands today, the global economy right now is only 7.2% circular, the global economy as a whole. 5 years ago, it was 9.2%. I don't like where that number's going, and it's why I'm here today speaking before you, because I find that trend alarming, and I want more than anything for this shift to be a reality in all of our lives. It's why I joined this board, it's why I'm here today, because imagine if every product truly was cradle to cradle certified, how much better off we would all be. And I think we can do it. Now, not to get all super bumsville, but the stakes, they are high, and we don't have a lot of time. As indicated earlier today by a much smarter academic than what I'm going to tell you, the 9 planetary boundaries, we've exceeded 6 of them. We have a growing population with increasing consumption patterns, and we are just overloading our ecosystem. Boundaries like ocean acidification and climate change that have transgressed into the red zone. And red zone is never a good zone. In movies, a red zone usually is an indication of something very, very bad that's going to happen. So, The Circularity Gap Report also states that the transition into a circular economy could reduce global material extraction by 1/3. That's massive. So I am pleading with all of you. I know we're tired, I know it's the end of the day, but damn it, stay vigilant and always demonstrate circular responsibility wherever you can. Tell people about C2C, get certified, push others to do the same, because it is entirely up to us to safeguard the planet for future generations. The answer is literally here. The urgency to develop and manufacture circularly designed products is undeniable because right now we need solutions to big problems. Again, stated earlier today, problems like reducing greenhouse gas emissions and raw material dependence, and slowing down landscape and habitat disruption. Circularity can increase jobs, increase competitiveness, and boost economic growth. I also think it's worth mentioning that massive monster companies right now have pilot programs in South America to test out circular programs, and they're doing very, very well because that's where all the big money eventually is going to go, and they know that. Another perk, your commitment to this endeavor will foster trust and loyalty, particularly amongst your consumers who continue to demand that your company lead by example in sustainability initiatives and advocacy. I really liked what John Mascari said earlier today with Blue Land. He said that the customers are not myopic, and like we say in movies, they're getting smarter. And a lot of them know when they're being BS'd, and so you really have to bring it. The expectation now is that companies will unequivocally prioritize climate, social fairness, and ethical sourcing. That is what the customer wants. And the customer is always right. Think of it as the new circle on the head. It's mandatory, so you better get good at it. And speaking of Giotto, as I mentioned, his story began in the late Middle Ages, but that is not where it ended. Because Giotto's creative vision helped unleash a new wave of creative and intellectual freedom, a movement in art, literature, science, and commerce that we now call the Renaissance. We should all be so lucky to be born in one age and live to see a better one.